And we got to start with the New York Jets because there are a lot of firsts with this team. It's their first game with Robert Saleh as their head coach. It's their first game with their rookie quarterback, Wilson. And it's their first game against Sam Darnold, the guy that was kind of thrown into the situation that Zach Wilson is in now. He's playing for the Panthers. What do we make of this, Gigi?
Well, I think that something that I saw looking into the Jets, too, and I'm sure everybody from New York already knows, too, is the really rough history they've had with quarterbacks. And like you mentioned, we got Zach Wilson now playing tomorrow, but they lost Sam Darnold now, matching up against the Panthers would be a very interesting game. But they also had Geno Smith, and just to go through other ones, Sanchez.
Keep it coming.
The butt fumble, Mark Sanchez, and Tim Tebow. And I think it's really telling what an organization can do for really strong players in college, and then you come to the Jets and you just don't do well. And I think a lot of pressure is being put on Zach Wilson, rightfully so, and it has been over the whole summer and off season. And I think that this might be one of the more boring games of the weekend, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I'm excited.
You're really excited about the storyline.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know about the actual game, how it would turn out.
I mean, you're right. And Sam Darnold didn't really get his moment to shine in New York. And, maybe that motivates him out in Carolina for the Panthers. And let's talk about Zach Wilson, because I think for the Jets, you go 2-14 last season, and all year long we're talking about Trevor Lawrence, who's now in Jacksonville. We'll talk about that eventually, but I mean, you could call him the most pro-ready or highly anticipated quarterback prospect since Peyton Manning. I don't think that's a stretch to say. I really don't think that's a stretch to say. I mean, call me out if you think that's crazy. If you think I'm out of my mind.
We're talking about Zach Wilson still.
Oh, we're talking about Trevor Lawrence.
No. Okay. All right. I was about to say,
I
was like, I have no idea the words that are coming out your mouth then. Because I know we're going to get to Trevor Lawrence later too. But I thought you were talking about Zach Wilson. And I was like, I don't think you could say that. You just can't say that if the player's on the Jets.
Of course.
It just can't happen. But okay.
But we're talking about Trevor Lawrence,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And then the Jets somehow start winning some games. Right? They're tanking all year long, and they win 2 games, and that costs them the number 1 overall pick. Right? So they get the kid out of BYU. Right? You've got Zach Wilson. And, I mean, you saw him on draft night. He had, this clean-shaven face. This, people on Twitter were having a field day, and then we get to the preseason, and then people realize that this guy was pretty good. He starts stepping out of the shadow of, not just all the quarterbacks you mentioned, but Trevor Lawrence and these other rookie quarterbacks in this draft. And you realize, wow, this guy's got a lot of talent. This might be, the next quarterback of the New York Jets.
Wow. And I think obviously you're looking for a franchise quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, and we're going to see if it's the same expectations and met expectations for Zach Wilson and see how it goes tomorrow. But I think that I was saying that this might be the most boring game of the day just because it's you just can't have too high of expectations for New York football right now, and we'll get to Giants later. But I would love for it to be a good game and to be proven wrong, but it's just looking like right now it is gonna be, I would say it would be a low scoring game, and I want to know what you think about that too.
Well, I think that's spot on, and you look at Robert Saleh, right, and what he was able to accomplish with the 49ers in San Francisco, and he really had that defensive identity, one of those top defensive coaches in the league. And even when your guys go down, you lose Nick Bosa, one of the top defensive players in the league, and they still were able to be a successful team. He's got to bring some of that to the Jets, and you're going to be pressuring Sam Darnold, but I think he's going to be motivated. He has to be motivated, against the team that put so much into him and then shipped him out. You know? So it definitely, we're going to see some inexperience from these guys, but personally, I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited. I don't buy into your boring game narrative.
But is this the matchup you're most excited for tomorrow?
I mean, you know what the answer is to that.
No, I know that. I know that. Okay, all right, that's what I figured. But still, this would be maybe like, it would be up there.
Absolutely. I'll definitely be tuning into this game.